Hi, my name is Liesl, and welcome to Books Are in My Blood, 10 Things You Don't Know About the Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is this thrill ride that had me hooked from the very first episode. This is one time when I started watching the HBO series before I started reading the books. I have finished reading through the third book, A Storm of Swords. The book series, originally called A Song of Fire and Ice, has been renamed A Game of Thrones for the HBO series. They are a testament to the genius of writer George R.R. Martin, and the series of books are still being written today. The idea of shooting A Game of Thrones as a series for HBO instead of as a movie, producers D.B. Weiss and David Benioff tell us in The Writer's Room that Martin gave them a kind of test to produce the series, and that Martin asked them who was Jon Snow's mother. They guessed an informed answer, got it right, and got this series. I still don't know the answer to that question, but I'm going to find out. The books are massive, I'll admit, with the cast of hundreds, and that's why HBO has decided to pare the books down and concentrate on fewer cast members. Now again, here's the 10 things you don't know about the Game of Thrones. Number 10, incest. Was not merely used by the Lannisters. In the book, the Targaryen family also practiced incest as a way to keep the bloodline pure. Number 9, in the book, Bran climbs the towers and discovers Jaime and Cersei, brother and sister, having sex completely naked. Bran doesn't know what they are doing, but Jaime shoves Bran out the window anyway. Number 8, the three-eyed crow. The crow is symbolic. He's here to illustrate the ability to see beyond the physical world. Number 7, in the beginning of the second book, A Clash of Kings, there is a red comet that appears in the sky. No one knows what to make of it. It means different things to different people. Some say it's the return of dragons. Some say it's a sign of victory for the Lannisters or Tullys. Others say blood and fire will come. Number 6, Sir Dantos. We haven't seen that much in the HBO series. He tells Sansa that he can bring her back to her family, but in the series, it's Littlefinger who tells Sansa that he will rescue her. Number 5, Jane Westerling. Daughter of Lord Gawain, a lesser house, was Robb's wife, not Talisa, played by Una Chaplin. Robb, the King of the North, was in battle and had a fever when Jane nursed him through and bed him so that he would marry her. Number 4, Edmure, Kat's brother, married into the Frey family on the night of the Red Wedding. He's being held captive by the Freys. Number 3, it was Kat's idea to leave Jane at Riverrun instead of bringing her to the Frey wedding. So in the book, Robb's wife lives without issue. Robb also wants to legitimize his brother Jon Snow so he's in the line of succession. Kat is very much against this, but Robb makes the decree anyway. Number 2, on the way to the Red Wedding, Robb and Kat receive news that Theon is still alive and being held captive with the cruel son of a ship's captain. Also, Balon Greyjoy, Theon's father, has died while going between the islands and rocks, and crabs eat his eyes out. Oh my gosh. Number 1, the Red Wedding. Can you believe this when you saw this on TV? I was so stunned. Robb danced with all the Frey women, and Kat thought that the place smelled horrible for a wedding. The Rains of Castamere started to play, and that was the first clue, as that is the song of the Lannisters. When Kat and Robb were hit with arrows, she grabbed Walder Frey's grandson and threatened to cut his throat. Walder Frey said that he wasn't much good anyway, and a man in a pale pink cloak stepped up to Robb, thrust his long knife up his belly and into his heart, and said, "Jaime Lannister sends his regards." Kat kept her word and sawed the knife till she hit bone. Here's what also happened in the book. They sawed off Robb's head and sewed it on his direwolf's body. They waited 3 days, then threw Kat's body naked into the river, making a mockery of the Riverrun funeral practices. Okay, caution. From here on, you will only find spoilers. So from here on out, don't watch unless you want to know what happens in the third season, at least by the way the books go. Here are the final 7 things you don't know about the Game of Thrones. Number 7, King Joffrey's wedding. It starts with Tyrion and Sansa going to the wedding when Joffrey starts to make a torrent of poor Tyrion. He pours wine on his head and vocally loves the dwarves' performance as jousters when they come in on a pig and a dog. He makes Tyrion his cupbearer as a final insult. When Joffrey stuffs his mouth with pigeon pie, he starts to choke more and more violently until his face turns black and he dies, pointing his finger at Tyrion. Cersei is screaming and Sansa disappears. Cersei has Tyrion taken captive for his death, and Sansa is under arrest, although no one can seem to find her. Number 6, Tyrion plans to marry Shae, his whore, to Sir Talad, a kindly, tall, and decent man. Shae is not happy. Number 5, Sansa is taken by Sir Dantos to steal away in the night. He takes her to a ship and demands his money, and he is quickly killed. Littlefinger was the man who was behind killing Joffrey and now takes Sansa away. Number 4, yes. Jaime comes back to King's Landing only to find his son Joffrey is dead. He and Cersei make love when he finds her over Joffrey's dead body, but she is careful to keep him at a distance. But he is determined to stop with the lies and give Cersei another baby. He goes to his father with his stump hand, and instead of a grateful return, his father, Tywin, disowns him. Number 3, Tyrion is given a trial, but Cersei has liars on her side. The Red Viper, who's one of the 3 to judge him, talks to Tyrion and offers to be his champion. Number 2, Jaime is interviewing the city's guard, and he's not particularly fond of who Cersei has put in the guard. When he talks to the Knight of the Flowers, he has him talk to Brienne because he's sure of her loyalty to Renly. Number 1, in the final chapter of the 3rd book, I got chills. It was the ghostly return of Catelyn Stark, back from the dead to get her revenge. I don't even care that it took me weeks to get through this stack of books. They were worth every minute I spent. Winter is coming, so curl up with a good book. Thank you.